All right, welcome back. It's, 9:15. We're back into regular session, new business. I just fumbled something, so hold on. All right. New business, number 8, action proposed on stipulation regarding settlement, town of Kiowa versus Democrat. Case 24 CV 30050, Elbert County District Court. What?
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Okay. That's where we are.
Action on that new business?
I motion that we approve this stipulation, and I will read this on record so everybody knows what we're voting on. The parties by and through their respective counsel hereby submit their stipulation for dismissal under CRCP 41A2 with supporting authority as follows. Number 1, all parties have reviewed this stipulation and have given authorization for their respective counsel to execute it on their behalf. 2, the town of Kiowa and the board of trustees for the town of Kiowa, collectively the town, hereby agree to dismiss this lawsuit with prejudice subject to the following conditions. A, Mr. Kraft shall resign from the board of directors of the Kiowa Water and Wastewater Authority, KWWA, no later than August 13th, 2024. I, his resignation shall be contingent upon both KWWA and the town approving the stipulation. Once approved by both entities, his resignation shall be immediately final and effective. Number 3, in exchange for the consideration in paragraphs 2 of this stipulation, the town agrees that it will not initiate a lawsuit or other challenge in any form seeking to invalidate any decision or action of KWWA taken while Mr. Kraft was a board member from the time of his appointment to the KWWA board up through and including the July 9th, 2024 KWWA meeting. Should Mr. Kraft not fulfill the terms set forth in paragraphs 2, this stipulation shall be null and void. Number 4, each party to the stipulation agrees to bear its own attorney's fees and costs incurred within this case. Wherefore, the parties respectfully request that the court enter the proposed stipulation as an order of the court and dismiss this action with prejudice, each party to bear their own attorney's fees. Dated this 13th day of August 2024.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
A second.
This point, is there any discussion? Seeing none?
I don't know.
Okay.
Just make them,
Kim, let's roll call vote this, please.
Um,
I think the only other discussion is, we just wanna make sure that this is the same thing that the water board read.
okay. We won't know that until later on, but we'll do the vote now. Mayor Pro Tem Smith.
Aye.
Director Wyland. Aye. Director Howard.
Aye.
Director Schaefer.
Aye.
Director Hart. Aye. It's unanimous.
Motion passed. Stipulation will be handled. Okay, moving into new business B, Ute Avenue Road striping proposal, Kimberly Orton.
Okay. I have had a request from the board numerous times to discuss restriping Ute Avenue. Whether it's here at this intersection, up by the fairgrounds, there's been suggestions of adding stop signs up and down Ute, all in an effort to reduce the speeding. I went to the county.
Okay.
To have a discussion with them. And, because we were contemplating stop signs at the entrance to the fairgrounds. We weren't real sure what that would look like.
Mhm.
The county, advised that, and this is actually, it's a state law that you have to have a study done of any, revisions or alterations to a roadway. As it relates to traffic flow. So they advise that they, use Kimley Horn, for everything regarding their roads. all of the road designs, striping, et cetera. So they referred me to their gentleman that they use at Kimlin Horn. I asked Kimlin Horn to put together a quote of what that would look like to design a striping plan that would revise Ute Avenue from 86 up to the fairgrounds, where our jurisdiction ends. And that's what you have in your packet right there.
Okay.
That top document, it is $8,900 to do that plan. And that is just the design of the restriping of
Is the
Ute.
design.
Just the design of the restriping, that it's not including the construction or materials.
Without
Okay.
paint or glass beads, it's
Yes.
just the design.
So it is very expensive, because it does require some engineering. That is a very weird intersection of the fairgrounds. So,
Mhm.
I wanted you to see what they proposed and what it would entail to do that. And I need your approval moving forward if we are to incur that cost. I have, talked to DOLA, regarding this project to see if we would qualify for some sort of grant, from them. That would at least cut the cost in half, and this type of project does not fall into the perimeters of the grant. I think, mineral impact grants. So,
Has the county wanting to work with us at all on any of this as far as like cost occur? I know it's on our
that
side,
was
but
what DOLA also asked, maybe you wanna go to the county and see if they're willing to participate in that, but I'll remind you. They also suggested that when we entered into the storm drainage project, that directly benefit, they're direct benefactors of, because they sit right there on the curb line. And they made it, very clear that they didn't wanna give one dime to the town for that project. Um.
Huh.
So,
I wonder where their money's coming.
I'm sitting behind a building,
So I have
I'm sorry.
anyway, radio edit. I have a quick question.
Yes, sir.
And this is after, where the heck I was somewhere in my travels, worldly travels in a little bit lately. At the intersection of Kiowa Bennett Road and Ute Avenue. We talked about putting stuff on the shoulders, and I don't think that really solves the real issue. And I don't know what the appropriate term of it is. So, and please forget my.
Those cone type things?
No.
Oh, island.
So, it's not, all of it,
Like a median?
it's like a medium, but it's just yellow lines, okay? And I wonder. One, can we do it? Without going through a lot of extra exercise,
Mm-mm. We cannot revise that roadway without.
because we're a
We
homeowner.
still have. to do
It has
this, right?
nothing to do, it has,
So,
If it was a blinking light
So the-
saying slow down.
well, the whole reason at this intersection why I wanted to do that is one, it eliminates the double turn that is a safety hazard. And my wife witnessed should have been a lot bigger accident than what it was last spring. Secondly, when trucks are making a turn, whether they're coming either direction, pick it, and they're hugging that yellow line. I mean, maybe with the stock trailer, if they're hugging the yellow line, I can't make it without running over a sidewalk curb, and I mean, it's too tight if they're hugging the yellow line. So by putting that space in the middle to push them towards it. Well, at least put the southbound traffic closer to the curb. One, it makes one lane of traffic, and two, it gives you extra real estate in the middle. I think my simplistic view is that would probably do a lot to that intersection. I don't know if really what all we have to do to get that striped that way. If we have to do a
you have.
$9,000 to do $150 worth of paint.
Yeah, you have no choice by state law. You have to do a study that substantiates what you're proposing to do. And if an engineer decides that you cannot make that kind of revision to a public road, you cannot make that kind of revision to a public road because your insurance will drop you. you are setting yourself up for huge liability and lawsuits.
So you could be paying $9,000 for when you say, nope, sorry about your bad luck.
I'm not saying you
So-
have to pay that $9,000. I mean, we can definitely, if you choose, put that, if you wanna make that a project, we can put that out for bid.
Mhm.
I'm saying the county referred us to Kimley Horn
Right.
because Kimley Horn is already intimately knowledgeable about all of the county roads, because that is who they use as traffic engineers for all of their roads. And they just completed our comprehensive plan update, which gave them further insight to the complexities of Kiowa. They also acknowledge in that would be, butting up to an already project that's being conducted on 86, and part of that is putting in a traffic light.
That's all.
Here in this intersection, but that would be coming down to meet what's already been done here. It was also touched on in our new comprehensive plan update as well, if you remember right.
Well, I have the suggestion, and they'd be the ones to tell us yes or no, we can do it or not. As you come in, right at the fairgrounds, there should be a stop sign. I can't tell you how many times I've tried pulling out of that mobile home park entrance and almost gotten hit because nobody slows down. They're still doing 50, and when they hit midway, then they'll slow down to about 30.
So
You
Oh.
can concur.
I
No.
wanna
So,
borrow your opinion real quick. Sure. Cause I mean, you've been here all night, so I want. And cause this has been tossed around. From your point of view of enforcement and response. What would be more appropriate? A stop sign, if we declared always stop at the fairgrounds and the trailer park? Or would you like a speed hump?
Both would work. I think part of the problem is trying to turn out either north or southbound, there needs to be a merge lane. Just to divide the traffic. I'm the traffic car, that's all I do is write tickets all day long. I can't tell you, if I sat there for a day, I'd probably write 50. As far as traffic goes, especially during fair, it is extremely dangerous, and they have me sit at that intersection just waiting for an accident. Flashing lights would be excellent as far as slowing people down, and I would talk to the county to see if we could do it. 2 of them. One before the fairgrounds, to let people know that, hey, there's a reduction in speed. And then either a stop sign, like a 4-way light, just to have people slow down and monitor traffic. There's been so many times where I've responded to that intersection almost due to a fatal crash.
That's one at the trailer park or at the fairgrounds?
Yeah, that's where the trailer park comes out, where you can go north or southbound in Kiowa Bend, and where the fairgrounds come out, north or southbound.
Okay.
So I think anything to reduce speed there would be ideal.
You're talking about a merge lane, would that be that, well, is that road wide enough to have a merge lane?
It would
So
be.
on northbound, you'd be able to, going northbound out of the trailer park,
Yeah.
because you have that big opening through that ditch.
Yeah,
Right up to where that sign is. I don't know about modifying the curb going southbound, if that would be practical, or even just widening it a little bit, just to create that extra room for trailers coming out of the fairgrounds and go southbound to Kiowa Bend.
It's always been tight,
Right.
and when that was the only in and out,
Mhm.
which was, I won't date that. But that used to be the only in and out,
Sure.
and it really got ugly. Okay. So, in order to go through that, it all comes back to this.
Yeah, we still have to.
so
approve
one of
them.
my thoughts too
I mean, we
is,
could throw around, it's 9:30 and we could throw around ideas of what we wanna do with that road all night long.
But
But
it's,
we cannot do any of that
Oh,
without
yeah,
a study
yes,
substantiating
gotcha.
so
it.
we gotta have,
So we have to make a decision tonight if you.
Emily Horn has to do the discovery work of what our available options are,
I-
They
correct?
don't have to, we
They
could
don't
get
have
someone
to, I could
else.
put it out for bid,
But since we already have this,
but I will say a lot of the documentation and information needed to work upon to create this plan is already in their possession.
what about improvement of that road too?
It's the same thing.
Will that all
the traffic study has to,
include,
will encompass that.
That's what that essentially is an improvement of the roadway.
Yeah.
but like the actual road
Surface?
itself
Oh, you
too?
mean mill and fill? All they're doing is a striping plan right now.
Right.
That itself is another construction RFP for a company to come in and do what they call a mill and fill. They would have to break that down and build it back up again. And then you do the striping.
Just from
The mill will
this,
cost us, I'd say.
from the citizens' standpoint, I mean, that's where we get a lot of complaints.
Well,
So,
if you want to put things in perspective, when we're done with this project, the storm drainage and sidewalk project, CDOT is allotted $1.5 million to do a mill and fill from Elbert Road to the post office.
oh, wow, okay.
That's just
Okay,
from
yeah.
Elbert Road to the post office.
Yeah, so.
So,
What input did you have there?
You could also look at rumble strips too.
That's a good idea.
Cause anytime you come up to an intersection that has rumble strips, most of the time people start slowing down, knowing either there's a stop, reduce speed. It's also a good indicator of slowing down as well.
That's a good option, but either way, we still have to look at the
Yeah.
traffic study, right?
So quick question, in terms of a budget standpoint, on this, where are we going?
we haven't had any road repairs and really maintenance issues this year. We're within budget. If we paid $8,900, I just thought it would be better to find some assistance with that.
Sure,
But you would be fine
We
paying
would be okay with
$8,900
it.
for the plan, but that's why I wanted you to understand that that's just for the plan. That does not include construction and
Right.
materials to actually do the work.
Okay.
That would absolutely have to be put in RFP and put out to bid.
Yes.
Yeah. Can we get some bids on that before we go ahead with this? So we can
Definitely
look
do
at
that.
a total structure?
So.
Cause it feels like a big
A big chunk.
gulp to say, yeah, go ahead, and then somebody's like, oh, well, it's gonna be $1 billion to do all of that. We're like, oh, we can't do that, you know what I mean?
So,
Like, I'm far fetched, but
I'd like to move that we table this until we get bids.
Well, if you want, you can, this is what. If we, so here's the thing, is we could put it where we could do RFP for this. Kimberly Horn probably has advantage on the RFP from their standpoint, cause they already got
and they
most of the data.
Sure.
We kinda know where the money's gonna be, in a sense, or we could move forward and just say we want a contract with them. So that's y'all's,
I will say this, I do feel like it would be more responsible as a town
Mhm.
to put it out for bid.
yes.
I was gonna say, when I'm spending my money, I like to look for the best price,
Right.
and if we're
Best
gonna
value.
be spending down,
Yeah, best value.
Best value,
Certainly
I can
price.
say that they have the advantage because they've already got all the legwork, but you won't really know what the cost of that is without getting a proposal from other
without
companies.
shopping value.
And
Yeah.
could we, when we're doing that, gosh, see, but that's hard because we don't know what we're gonna do on that road, so we
Well-
can't even get a bid for
We
it.
Well,
start here
and then
with
it,
The
well, if-
assessment
yeah.
and move forward.
Yep.
that's what this is basically an assessment then, where they would come back and say, this is a good idea, you should go do this or this, these are our suggestions. Am I correct with that, Kim? That's what this
It's a study.
little packet is here, the study,
The
right?
study is to create an engineered plan
Gotcha,
for how that road
Okay.
can be modified
okay,
to reduce the speeding problem that we have from the fairgrounds to 86.
okay.
And so we're gonna put out a bid for another study, or who can do it for the best value.
Well, I'll put a 30-foot moat, so there you're gonna have to gun it. Okay, can I get a motion for the RFP, please?
Yeah, I move to do that, let's get her done.
I'll
Say the
make-
motion.
yeah.
Yes, the motion.
I'm sorry.
For the
it's late.
record.
I'll make a motion
Thank you.
to put out a couple, like, get a few more bids on this study.
Do we want 3?
For you, Avenue.
For you, Avenue.
How many would you
Sure.
like?
You have
Do you want to make a motion?
Yeah.
How many would you like? A complete motion?
For 3 bids. Right, it isn't 3 kind of magic number.
Is that to include Kiowa horse?
Yes, I would say this counts as one.
If you guys were trying to put a light in, we could throw an extra conduit in when we go towards the fairgrounds. We'd be more than willing to work with you guys on that.
We're already including that in our storm drainage and sidewalk project
Right.
with CDOT.
Do I have a second?
Yeah,
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. All right.
Almost done.
All right,
Motion to adjourn.
moving on, in that other in that other packet I handed you with the other information, behind the Himley Horn.
Yep.
You have some Sarasa packets. I'm sharing this with you because this is a benefit to you guys moving into 2025. I want to share the transgression of how this has occurred over the last couple of years. The first report you're looking at is 2021. Now, these are loss audit inspections that are done annually by your insurance company. They come out here and they do an inspection of our playgrounds, our shop, our office, anything that is town-owned property that they are insuring, they come out and do a loss audit on it. As well, they're looking for completion of required training. They're looking for safety issues within our office, our shop, our playgrounds. They go over everything. And it also includes issues, things with the water authority, because they are also carried on our insurance, so they play a part in this.
So they gotta look at the
The
water
sewer
facilities.
and
Yeah.
well, knocks and everything.
Yeah.
In 2021, under workers' comp and property, comprehensive failed miserably. You've got a 31% in workers' comp and a 43% in property. In 2022, failed miserably. You got workers' comp 38%, property comprehensive 36.
Now, what makes it that score?
On the very back, there's a checklist that will show you where you failed and where you passed. And where you just didn't fall anywhere.
Okay.
And it'll tell you why.
So 100
Under the areas where you failed, it'll tell you where you
Yeah.
were lacking. Okay. In 2023, that's your January 18th, 2024 report. That's when they got the report out. It came up because we took notice of what we were failing on in the previous 2 years. When I send out those emails to you guys and I say, I need you to complete these training lessons, they're important, and that's why you guys do them. Mendez has to do them too. He hates it. But we go to Bennett, we go to other municipalities and participate in their trainings. We did safety checks of the shop and the buildings, and we brought them up to code and up to our insurance standards. All of those are in that checklist at the very back. It'll tell you where we failed. Some of those just weren't attainable at that point. We went through 3 court clerks, county clerks last year. So each one of them had to complete that training. That wasn't feasible. Some of them didn't stay here long enough. So all of those are considerations. We worked really hard and buckled down this last year and brought those scores up to 98% in workers' comp and 95% in property comprehensive. What that means is now you get a break on your premiums moving into 2025.
Yeah, sweet. Can we get a room?
So I don't know what those are until the end of this month, when they send out the quotes. But moving forward, this is what the significance is of doing those trainings and such that I send you. I know you hate it, but they all play a part in us getting lower premiums. And I think as a public entity, we owe it to the public to work toward that. We're spending their money. So if we're not putting the effort into doing that, then we're failing them. So I to share that with you, and that's where we're at with that, and we'll know what those premium reductions are at the end of this month to share with you at next month's meeting.
So we did that much better.
If you send me any more of those training things, I'm having my dog do it.
Well,
Hey,
as long as I get a
Because they're not
certificate,
fun.
that's all I
Okay.
care.
Okay,
Terry, I had to take snowplow driver training.
oh, okay, good. So
Go
when
fast
we need
and turn
snow
left.
plowing done, we'll call you.
Go fast.
So your driveway pristine all winter.
Actually, mine has the sun on it.
Bonus points if you have mailbox. Okay,
Right. 2000,
Part D, financial audit 2023.
that is in your packet. It's what I sent you a couple weeks ago.
Thanks.
I wanted to make sure it was included in our packets so that it's made public.
We need to
For
get
review.
action on
Contrary to Mr. Kraft's assertion at the Water Authority, you can, choose to make a motion to approve it or not. But Ronnie Farmer is not changing one thing in this
Hmm.
document. He is our auditor. He is, who we hired to review the financials, and what he found is concrete in here. And these will go on the website for public knowledge. They have been submitted to, DOLA and the state auditor's office. They did meet the deadlines, so we've not missed any deadlines with these. So, yeah, there you go. There's
He
no
spent a whole week
surprises.
sitting in here
There's-
going through every single
Yeah.
page.
I mean,
Well, just so we have it for the record, let's make a motion that we approve it.
or the way accepted.
Except that's better. I like that.
Okay, yeah, accepted.
I got a motion that we accept the 2023 audit from Ronnie Farmer,
And I'll second.
and I have a second. Is there any other discussion? And obviously with audits, an audit is, it is what it is.
It is
Now,
what it
you-
is.
You can dispute something, or you can go back but it is what it is, so you can't really change it.
Right, and I'm not gonna delay the submittal of that to the state, for you guys to review it. I mean, it is what it is. It's not gonna change.
We all have it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay,
Okay,
boy, that's an ugly word. 2025 budget committee.
yeah, we need to select a budget committee so we can get on that. I'm proposing our first meeting of this committee to be September 3rd at 7 p.m. That's gonna be the day after Labor Day. Terry's already got a question.
No,
Are you
I'm
volunteering?
volunteering because
Oh,
you're
there
gonna
you go.
volunteer me if I don't,
I
so.
already had you down.
That's right, I'm voluntold.
Are they always gonna be on Tuesdays?
This is just the first one. We can set it to whatever, but I'm hitting September, the first week of September, so we have something to report back at the board meeting the next week.
Okay.
Should I check my calendar?
You could do that, or you can email me tomorrow,
I'll do that.
just telling me who is volunteering for that. Is
I'd
that-
be interested, but that first week, I'm scattered.
Are they gonna be monthly meetings or what?
Sometimes more.
Sometimes more,
Yeah.
depending on how much discussion you all need to have.
Depends on how much
your
budget.
Let me have a discussion with my husband
Okay.
first and I'll email you.
All right,
No.
keep that in mind. Oh, send me an email and we'll just create. So
Yeah.
right now I have Terry's in charge of the committee until somebody else.
There we go.
How many do you need?
Wait a minute.
Nice job, Sharon.
Tim,
How many do you?
Tammy, you'll be on it?
we usually do,
Okay.
what, Trevor, 3?
3 to 4.
Mm.
Does that include Terry's stuff?
No.
It's taking the quiz. Okay, wow, we're getting down to the blue writing. Okay, shouldn't that be in green? Anyway, the coal powered charging station
Okay,
outside of town now.
the core electrical vehicle charging station.
The non-highway use tax.
This got added tonight because, this communication came to me today. I just want to make sure you guys are in the loop on this. Core sent me an email advising, the charging station outside is humming right along. It's been free for consumers for almost a year now. Core would like to implement fees for its use, starting here soon. It was only supposed to be free for a certain period of time.
Yeah, less than a year.
Yeah, so, per section 9 of our lease agreement with them, the town of Kiowa, needed to be notified 30 days prior to starting to charge those service fees. They would like to know if we want to keep it free charging, for another 30 days. Or, which is completely within our rights, they advise us, or allow them to go ahead and proceed on to charging for that, immediately. They would like to start charging as soon as possible with our permission. So you know, proposed rates on that are 8 cents. I think it's a kilowatt.
Kilowatt hour,
KWH,
yeah.
kilowatt hour.
I plug in there every time I come here.
Oh, do you? Okay. For core members outside of 4 p.m. to 8 p.m.
I was wondering if somebody used that at all.
Yeah, 15
We do have a
cents.
few people pumping.
Yeah,
So
fif-
that's 8 cents a minute.
Texas.
Hold on. 8 cents, per kilowatt hour. For core members outside of 4 to 8 p.m., 15 cents per kilowatt hour for core members within 4 to 8 PM. 25 cents per kilowatt hour for non-core members, all times. 25 cents a minute. 10 minutes after charging is complete. This is to prevent EV blocking future consumers.
Oh, wow.
So, basic stats in July for you from them. 7 charging sessions in July, 74 kilowatt hours dispensed, 1% utilization rate, which he advises is very good.
7 sessions in the month of July,
Yes.
and 2 of them were Frank.
So
Okay.
we can go on with 30 days for free.
We could move to 30 more days for free, or allow them to start initiating.
Do
I
we
mean-
get anything off of them
We get charged
charging?
5%.
No,
It's our
No.
property, we kick them off, okay, they're.
no.
I mean, my thought is there's not a lot of things that are free, so even if one person is benefiting from it,
Yeah.
then let's do another 30 days.
Up to you guys.
Doesn't
I
matter
wanted
to
to make sure
me.
you guys are aware.
And those rates are very reasonable, cause you can go as high as 65 cents. I've been as high as 85 cents in some places, so that is extremely reasonable, even if you're not a core at 25 cents, it's pretty good, so.
So if 2 cars are plugged in, do you guys shut off your air conditioner?
It will.
There's only
If I
one
left my
car.
car on, I charge it all the way up.
And we get, just so that I'm clear, we get no revenue. from
Okay.
Hey, Lee,
No,
you wanna do that?
I will make a motion to advise for another 30-day free of their charging ports.
Do I have a second?
Second,
Any other discussion?
Do we need to put a sign out there letting folks know that, hey, in 30
We don't
days?
do anything. It's
They-
not for
they
us to
would
do
do
that.
theirs.
It's all on them.
yeah,
I
It's
didn't
all,
know.
it's
Yeah.
theirs. That's their little,
Just a little
Space.
heads up, y'all.
Yeah,
Okay.
All in favor?
People are
Aye.
core members.
I,
Opposed?
they have to sign up for an account. It's my understanding.
no, I need to mouth off here a little bit under discussion. I won't take very
Can you
long.
do that at the water thing?
I did one time.
Okay.
Um, as you all know, Joey's been in talking to us about various things that could be done. With the building she has, and not just for her. I think it would behoove us to look into our town charter. I know we've done a lot of changes and such on the ordinances. I don't know what direction we need to go to look at what is allowed, what isn't allowed. I would just like us to have this on our radar, so it's something we can be thinking about and possibly make some decisions or at least give a direction.
Well, Ruth and I are already working on that. It's gonna be on the agenda for this month's
Right.
planning meeting.
the planning committee is already looking at it. They are re-reviewing,
Well, excuse me.
So,
they are re-reviewing the town center.
That's
Okay.
good to know because it is a concern.
Yes.
Because all of the things that are listed in that town center, like Joey has been saying the last couple of months.
Yep.
It's a concern because that is our town.
Yes,
That's it.
so I would suggest maybe if you are interested, next Wednesday,
It's next Wednesday. I was
Yep.
just gonna ask.
planning has had the, since they decided to talk about, so for the whole month, since the last meeting, they have had the sheet of what is in town center for them to think about, talk about, or percolate on in their heads.
Okay,
So
Where,
next Wednesday here, 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock is the win.
The planning commission will be going over that, so if you have, if, as town board members, if you would like to have some input into
can I
that.
have that little sheet that they have that they're going over?
and
Thank you,
let me
dear.
Make a
is
note,
there? a
Thank you.
deadline for that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
And
Thank you.
I think I could set Jonathan up with an
I will email the
escort, so you
chart.
can get from Colorado Springs in here.
Thanks, Terry.
Can I ask, I know I'm not supposed to, but
No.
who will, is it planning commission that will make the decisions if it changes? Or is that up to?
They'll make a
They
recommendation.
make a
to us.
recommendation, the board,
You
the board
guys
approves
decide.
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
So-
really, I guess the thing I throw out, cause I'm not quite sure what part of the world I'll be on next Wednesday, but. And how that, if there's a way that we can, in a sense, for lack of better terms, preserve what we have, how it is. In terms of Kiowa. Especially from this center, well, if, instead of trying to redesign or. I think that is kind of the sentiment of, and I don't believe I'm alone of it, but many people that are sitting up here as well as quite a few people in the community, so
Well, I think
that would be my two.
a lot of it for next week is clarifying, because we came across things that where a bar was not allowed, even though we have a
A
bar,
gas station's not
but a
allowed,
nightclub was.
but, car lot is not
lot is not allowed.
allowed,
So,
but we have all of them.
yeah, so
Yeah, that's
it's,
what was
it's
confusing.
going through and
I was-
fixing those.
You know, and after you said something, I was trying to figure it out, but, well,
Yeah.
I.
So it's,
Well,
it's,
and
let's keep it
thank
what we
you,
have.
Joey, for bringing all this to our attention.
Well, it was concerning,
Well,
still is.
and I hope you
I
know
hope you
that
guys
it's,
are gonna- I know.
it's not going unnoticed.
Good, thank you.
And I know it all takes time, but
Well, there's other things, I was just hoping you guys would really get on that, because it's pretty
Yes,
important
so-
to me and other.
yes,
Thank you.
and thank you, Kim and Sasha. for-
Yes.
Thank
I
you,
will,
Kim
I
and
will
Sasha.
email the board that chart.
See, that's
So,
what-
I just want to say,
You, because I thought.
I just want to add that it's
I'm aggravated.
primarily on me, just trying to get us through these other issues and trying to schedule planning and zoning so that it could come before you timely. So, we
Well, thank-
apologize for the delay, but we're gonna get it done. And so,
Thank you,
Yes, we're gonna fix it.
thank you guys. You're very well. I know you both have been really working on this. I appreciate it.
So yeah, so I will email a copy of the chart to the board tomorrow.
Thank you.
Before I call for this last motion, please keep Rick and Katie in your heart. This time I'd entertain a motion to adjourn, go home and find a pillow.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Everybody still has to do dinner, don't they? It's still.
No, I was smart. I ate before I got here.
Thank you.